Shalom, dear friends. This is Rosa. Today we continue our series, Living the Shema, Loving God with All. Today's topic is a call to love God and others.
Whispers in the quiet night, stars that spark a holy light, a love that moves, a love that stays. It shapes the dawn, it fills my days. Love God with all heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love others as yourself. No walls, no length. We love because He loved us first. God is Yahweh, quenching every thirst. Mountains bow and oceans sing. Every breath to Him we bring. Grace that flows, it never ends. A love so pure it mends and bends. Love God with all heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love others as yourself. No walls, no length. We love because He loved us first. God is Yahweh, quenching every thirst. His love breaks chains. His love sets free. It's deeper than the deepest sea. Experience His everlasting flame. Forever known, forever claimed. Love God with all heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love others as yourself. No walls, no length. We love because He loved us first. God is Yahweh, quenching every thirst. Quenching every thirst. Oh, quenching every thirst.
The song expresses the theme of today's session, a call to love God and others, a love that moves and a love that stays. Let's turn to the passage where Jesus instructs us to love God and love others. Mark chapter 12, verses 29 to 31. The passage begins with Jesus answering the scribe's question, which commandment is the most important of all? Verse 29, Jesus answered, the most important is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Then Jesus continues, verse 30, and you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength. Last week, we explored the word and how loving Yahweh our God is inseparable from the Shema. The foundation of our love for God is that Yahweh is our God and that there is only one Yahweh to whom we give our full devotion. But Jesus doesn't stop there, and He continues in verse 31. The second is this, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than these. The word love appears again, this time directed toward our neighbor. There are two key verbs we must grasp, hear and love. The word here, the Shema, we have studied in previous lessons. Love is repeated twice. We are called to love God first and then to love our neighbors. Let's not rush, but go slowly to understand each point so that we can lay a firm foundation for our calling. When we truly Shema, the action of love follows. Love is not optional. First, we love God with all. From that love flows the ability to love our neighbors, even those people we don't like or people we find difficult to love. Today, we want to focus on one powerful word, love. So when Scripture calls us to love God and love others, what kind of love is it referring to? Is love simply an emotion? We hear the word love often, first in our families, and then we learn about love when we started building friendships in school and at work. And when we start dating, we learn about love. There's also romantic love when we get married. So, is love a feeling? Now, feelings come and go. They are unstable, moody, and unpredictable. One moment we feel high, the next moment we feel low. Well, this kind of love is very fragile, as the heart is easily hurt and broken. Or is love just a kind of liking? I like him, so I love. I don't like him anymore, so I stay away. Liking is based on preference. It changes with personality and circumstances. We're most familiar with this kind of love because this love depends on how someone makes me feel. Well, actually, this kind of love is very dangerous to our soul. Can love be something deeper? A love that holds, a love that stays, a love that chooses to love even when feelings fade and liking disappears. Well, let's find out in the Bible the kind of love that reflects God's heart. There are mainly 3 different key words for love in the New Testament. The first one here is agape, and it occurs about 110 times in the noun form, and agapao in the verb form, it occurs 107 times. This is a self-giving love, a sacrificial love for the good of the other. Agape is unconditional because it expects nothing in return. I choose to love regardless of my feelings because I seek the best interest of the other. It's a love that is rooted in will and in action, not in emotion. The second one is philia, and it occurs much less, about 27 times. Philia is a friendship love, a love between friends. It's a mutual love, a give and take in the relationship. It's warm, reciprocal, and emotionally connected. The third one is storge, and it occurs even less, about 3 times, and 2 times in the negative form. Storge has to do with the familial love, a natural affection that we have in our families. It's the kind of love that we have for our parents, siblings, and our children. The agape love, if you add the noun and the verb together, it comes to more than 200 times in the New Testament. This is the kind of love that the Bible is most concerned with. Why? Because this is the kind of love God has for us. Agape is the highest form of love, unconditional, sacrificial, and loyal. It's not based on fleeting emotions, feelings, or changing circumstances. Agape is a love that chooses to remain faithful to the end, even when the going gets tough and the journey is hard and the path uncertain. It's the kind of love that holds steady when feelings fade, when challenges rise, and when giving hurts. Which kind of love do you think is used in the commandment to love God with all? Would you like to take a guess? Yes, we can guess it is the first one, agape. What about loving our neighbor as ourselves? Would it be philia? Surprise! The Greek word used here is also agape. We are called to love our neighbor as ourselves with the same agape love we offer to God. This is really something we need to take to heart, isn't it? There's a lot of material to cover on these two commandments. For now, I will close with two Bible verses for you to meditate on this week. 1 John 4:8. Anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love. The verb here is agapao. Anyone who does not agapao does not know God. When Jesus speaks of God, he always refers to his Father Yahweh. His disciple John is following the same pattern. In the past, I made a mistake and thought the word God refers to Jesus. Well, if only I had taken the time to read the context. God here refers to the Father Yahweh. So we can say, anyone who does not agapao does not know Yahweh, because Yahweh is love. This is a profound truth we must grasp. Yahweh, our God, is agape. And because God is holy, this is a holy love. It's a love that remains faithful to the end because of the very character of God. Then a few verses following in 1 John chapter 4, verse 19. We love because he first loved us. The word he refers to God. He first agapao us. God initiated his love to us so that we could respond with agape, to him first and then to others. Our ability to agape is rooted in God's love for us. This is the kind of love the scripture calls us to. A love that mirrors God's heart, faithful, sacrificial, and enduring. It's not merely felt, it's lived out daily in our lives. Our calling is to love Yahweh with all and love others as ourselves. We must learn agape from God. Loving God is not something we can conjure up on our own, but it is a response to the love that Yahweh has already poured out onto us. Many Christians struggle to love God because they don't realize how deeply Yahweh God has already loved them. Perhaps the faith of many is weak because they have not yet tasted God's goodness. For those who have tasted his goodness and love, loving Yahweh and others is not a burden. I find that loving God is an overflow of my heart that has been overwhelmed by his mercies and grace unto my life.
Love God with all heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love others as yourself. No walls, no length. We love because he loved us first. God is Yahweh, quenching every thirst.
Shalom, dear friends. I'm Rosa. Oh, taste the Father's love this week so that we can respond fully to our calling.